Good morning, or afternoon, or evening. It's Laura from Hyperstamper. Welcome back. I have a beautiful, big, chunky, fantastic, authentically antique, from front to back, junk journal that I made from this 1930s book. This is a big one. I'm going to measure it here for you. It is 7 by 10. That's a big junk journal. So people who like the big chunky ones, this is fabulous. This came from a book series like this. Now, this one I cannot wait to turn into a junk journal as well. It had an original little plate here attached, and this is the Our Wonder World series. But this particular one, somebody had long peeled it off. So when I received the book, the image was gone. So I found this one from an 1884 book. It was a school book, actually. And look at this sweet little image here, the little girl looking at the squirrel and the bird in the background. This was printed on woodblock. That might not mean much to a lot of you, but to me it's very special, woodblock print. There's no cross lines on it. And I used this vintage clip-on earring to decorate the front, and then added some chains, vintage chains that I found. And I've got antique crochet here. The back is this beautiful marbled leather, and the pattern on the front and the side is just spectacular. So let me take you on a quick tour of this very stuffed journal before I put it in my Etsy shop, hyperstamper.etsy.com. Let's take a look. Lacey's asleep right now, my kitten. So I can get through this without her chewing anything. We've got the original first pages of the book here. Wonderful cluster up here. Lots of journaling space at the front. And then the original first plate, which is one of my favorites. It says, "In the days of colonial arts and crafts." Could that be any better of a plate for a junk journal? And then this beautiful full color first page here, and printed 1930. Love it. I added some lace here. This came from a vintage book. I just thought it was very whimsical. And this is a 1924 banknote, and it expires next year. It's probably worth a penny. There we go. Just stick that in there. Hold on. And then this is a little booklet I made out of a vintage botanical book that you can do some journaling with or just have fun with. Cute little page here. This is the cover of a Nancy Drew book. And it was just in bits and pieces when I got it. The original owner scotch taped the spine to it, so I left that intact and just made it a fun little peekaboo journaling spot. And then over here I have this great 1950s magazine page with a great little recipe down there. But look at these fun ads, bright and colorful Del Monte ads, just really indicative of the 60s. So I thought that was fun. I'm going to stuff that back in there. Got some lace. This is a 1920s United States map here that I pulled out of a geography book, and this wonderful 1800s, the Ladies Letter Writer. I use these. I'm getting low on them, which makes me very sad, but just really endearing how to write a letter if you're a lady. One to ask for a bridesmaids, and then the answer. Just so fun. Wonderful plate here from the early 1900s. And I just left this alone because it was so brilliantly colored and just sweet as can be. And I thought, I'm not going to cover that up with paper because somebody else might have another idea to use for it. And we've got more antique papers here. This is from 1967, so almost 60 years old. And I just loved it because of the fashions. Remember the days of hippies? And oh my gosh, I have pictures of me as a little girl in outfits exactly like this. So I just thought that was a fun piece. It's in really good condition too. You'll have fun with that. Just a little picture here of a little cottage on a lake. It's in bad condition, but I find those very endearing. It means that it was handled a lot and looked at a lot. Another wonderful kitten page here from the 30s. Some crochet, a blank interior page of a book. Here's a nice pressed flower that I made. And then here's another great February 1956 magazine page from a music magazine, teen music magazine. So you've got lyrics to songs up there. Uba, uba, uba. Oh my gosh, so fun. botanical page from the early 1900s, a vintage recipe book page, and I believe this one's on barbecuing, which is kind of cool. Here's a great history or geography book page, early 1900s. There's that great barbecue page again. And look at how fun is this one. I have a few of these, and this one's got the pink buttons, and I love it. I just love it. 50s or 60s, those ones. Antique book pocket from Freckles. Perennial book, vintage. And then here is L'Etude magazine from 1926, and just a lot of really, really fun ads on there. How to get rid of freckles. Who would want to? Violins, my favorite. I'm a fiddle girl. And the pocket is made from a 1930s children's book page. Then I've got this beautiful plate here. Look at these wonderful, before I go there, 1930s dictionary page, beautiful imagery. 1925, this plate is, it is spectacular. Love it. The blue boy was on the opposite page, but it's not in here, I don't think. Or maybe it is. No, it's not. A 1950s receipt in here. Oh, a little bit of glue. There we go. Isn't that fun? From the Brock's Milk Company. And then this is just an interior page from a vintage book that you can journal on. I just like the colors and the graphics that they used back then. Here's another one of these fantastical children's book pages. So you've got two of them in here. I just can't get over the colors for a 100-year-old book. Just wonderful. And then tucked into here is this Paris, France postcard, and that is early 1900s, probably about 1920, over 100 years old. And this is a lovely plate from a Polish embroidery book. It's really quite spectacular. Black Beauty page from the 50s, and this is from 1884. It is the same book that this came out of. Nope, a little different, but the same time period. And it's got the birds on one side and the other, bird's nest. 1925, and that's the flip side of that other beautiful image. Again, 1925, 100-year-old book. Look at the colors on it. Wonderful. Just made this from an antique book page, and I put some antique paper on the back so that you could journal there as well. Another vintage dictionary page, vintage embroidery page from the 50s. I made this little booklet out of all kinds of scraps of my antique ephemera. So you can journal all kinds of things in there. And just a beautiful antique music sheet and another wonderful children's book page. This is a research paper, hand typed, October 4th, 1888. This is a 1937 diary page from May 6 and 7. You can, it was called a 5-year diary. So 1937, 38, 39, 40. You get it. If you want me to switch that out for another date, I can certainly do that. This is the interior netting from a book, which I saved these. I think they're so pretty. Over here is a plate from 1904 from one of my English countryside books. Phoenix Towering Canal. Fun little children's book page pocket. Another one here. And this is a vintage needlepoint that would have been used for upholstery. And then this is from the 1930s, a student's work page there, little peekaboo journaling spot there, and another one of these wonderful doily pages at the back. So I hope you love it as much as I love making it. You can find that now on hyperstamper.etsy.com, and come back soon. Bye for now.